Welcome to another inspiring episode of the No Limits Life podcast, where strength, purpose, and resilience come together to help you create a life in harmony, mentally, emotionally, physically, and spiritually. True leadership emerges not from titles, but from how you rise when life tests your strength. Our guest today is a powerhouse in sports leadership and a trailblazer for women in college athletics. As the executive director and CEO of the Snoop Dogg Arizona Bowl, she's helped build one of the most unique, community-driven college football experiences in the country. She's a strategic thinker, a risk-taker, a wife, and a mother, and she's transformed challenges, including a personal battle with cancer, into stepping stones for impact and inspiration. Please welcome a leader in every sense of the word, Kym Adair.
Thank you for having me.
Kym, we're honored to have you with us today, but boy, what a life. I want to begin by reflecting on today's quote. True leadership emerges not from titles, but from how you rise when life tests your strength. How does this resonate with your journey in leadership, motherhood, and life beyond the field?
Oh, I think it resonates a lot, actually. As you were reading, I thought, oh, that reminds me a lot about my journey, just in professionally, there's always challenges that come along the way. And it's really about how you face those challenges, how you overcome those obstacles, and those that can think outside of the box and take risks to try to solve issues, concerns, problems that come at you are the ones that actually, in the end, become more successful, I believe, along the way. And that's how I've seen that in my career, whether it was in the corporate world, which I was in for many years, in sports, in my personal life, as a mother, as a wife. It's really about how you approach those obstacles. I also believing that you can overcome anything or most things, I think also puts you on the pathway to success. When you have that confidence kind of built in already, I think that makes a big impact.
Listening to you, it seems like you have a certain method, a certain way of doing things that always brings a positive outcome, whether it's mothering, whether it's dealing with corporate world, whatever you're doing, there is something in you that allows you to come out victorious. Can you share that? And I'm sure you know what I'm talking about.
I'm very competitive. And oftentimes I think I am most motivated when people think I can't do it. And that drives me even further to be successful in whatever endeavor that is. So
Competition.
So
competition can be negative and can be positive. In sports, we see that. Ironically, with competition, when it comes to competition, I know a thing or two. I've been in that world for over a decade, and I think in order to win, as you did in many areas in your life, you have to win, or you get to love not only what you do, but why you're doing it.
yeah,
In order to win.
yes,
And that competition becomes positive only when you know and when you love what you're doing and why you're doing it.
for sure.
If you start questioning why you're doing it, I'm not sure people can end up being victorious and using that mindset.
So, Kym, I've known you for a long time, okay? But there's a couple of things I didn't know. First of all, there's only 5 women, I believe, that are, I guess the title would be CEOs of bowls, of football bowls in the country. Is that right?
That's correct, yeah.
Wow. So does that put a lot of pressure on you?
Yes and no. I inherently have sort of that imposter syndrome within me. I'm very confident.
Fake it till you make it?
I'm a fake it till you make it kind of. I actually really believe in that, honestly. But if I'm being very honest about who I am too, I also have an imposter syndrome, and so I go. It's challenging going into rooms where you are the only woman. I've been doing that a lot in my lifetime, and I want to make sure. I guess for me, it's like I want to make sure people believe that I belong there,
Right.
and And
Well, I've seen you in action, and like you would never know that you even feel that way at all.
I appreciate that.
It's so amazing that you have said the word believe, I believe, 10 times. When you mention believe, I believe, and then at the same time you mention imposter, there is sort of a confusion between the believe and the imposter. So can you tell listeners, how do you mitigate between going from believing from the imposter syndrome to actually believing? Because it's a hard thing to do when you're in the opposite mindset and you get something else like believing. So how do you believe in yourself? There is a process to do that.
It's something that has been drilled into me since I was a little girl. And while I have a lot of confidence, and I'm pretty sure I can do or figure out a way to do just about anything. I don't I hope that's not sounding too, a lot of hubris, but I just really feel like in this world, we have tools at our disposal to be able to figure out how to do anything. Yeah. Whether it's inviting the right people into that room or asking the right questions or doing the research. And so I'm confident in my skills to be able to do that. But there's always a little bit of self-doubt in the back, right? And you're like, oh, what if this is the time I can't do it? Or I've overpromised.
You're battling between ego and love.
Yes, exactly.
Okay, you have a little voice that says I can't, and the other one that says you can.
Yeah.
Love and fear, right? So when you mention that believe, I think that what's happening with you and everyone who really believe in themselves is because they see what they're capable of, because they see the price, they see the outcome of what they really are wishing or desiring in their heads. You first see it, then you feel it, you believe it, then you create it. Mm-hmm. This is what I wanted you to say because the process looks something like that when I hear you talking.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Two questions, really. Like, what kind of support did you have maybe from your family, friends that created Kym? But then also, too, you're just, in terms of, you just know a lot about sports. So where did all the support and the knowledge of sports come from?
Yeah, so starting on the support, I have an awesome family, and I have an older brother who played baseball growing up in Little League, and he's 6 years older than I am. So I went to a lot of Little League baseball games, and when it was my turn to do t-ball, I wanted to play Little League t-ball.
Were you a tomboy?
Yes, I was a tomboy. I mean, I guess looking back, yeah, I was a tomboy. And it never occurred to me that I shouldn't be able to play on the baseball team. I didn't realize at that time, like Little League only allowed girls to start playing probably a couple years before that. And it was through like a court case that forced them to do that. But in all the Little Leagues, there were never any girls. And so I wanted to be on the team. So my dad coached the team so that he would make sure that I got a fair chance to play the game. So I was the only girl on the team for 4 or 5 years, and my dad coached to make sure, he really protected us and made sure that we were treated fairly and got the same type of opportunities as the boys. And for a long time, I was as competitive as the boys. I was one of the better players on the team. But I think that experience was like so natural that it helped me all of those other times when I'm the only girl in the room with a bunch of boys in sports.
So what about football? So do you have this kind of knowledge about football and all sports, what about football?
I love football.
How do you know so much about football?
I've always been a fan of football.
Did you play football?
No.
Like flag football, nothing like that?
No, but I watched a lot of football. Like, for instance, my uncle was the first Vikings mascot in Minnesota for the team, the Vikings. He was the mascot in the very early days.
That's great.
We had watched a lot of football. I loved football. I really love watching all sports. I'm not great at participating. I'm not very athletic or very coordinated, but I love, I could have a conversation and seem reasonably aware of something that's happening in most sports.
You know more about football than I do. I'm a band guy. I play trumpet, so she knows way more than I do.
You said it eloquently. I love all sports and nothing that stems from your competitive mind. And I'm sure you've used that in corporate. You've used that as a mother.
Yep.
You've used that everywhere. Tell us a little bit more about that. How do you use it?
You know, just to kind of go back to something that Ken had asked earlier about my growing up, like I told you about the Little League, but also my dad, particularly my mother too, very, very supportive, but my dad had very high aspirations for me. And when I would walk into the room, in any room in our house, and he was already sitting in that room, he would announce me as the next governor of the state of Arizona.
Are you the oldest?
No, I'm the middle.
Really?
I'm his oldest. I have half siblings that are older, but of his 2 children, I'm the oldest. And he, you know, and when you are like here,
expectations were high.
that you're
That's
the
good.
next governor of the state of Arizona over and over and over.
Yeah, let me ask you this. So, your dad was an important figure in your life.
Yeah, both my
Okay.
parents. Yeah, for sure.
When he was making those statements, was it with a convincing voice?
100%.
He believed it.
Yeah, and
So
he
that's-
only said governor because he thinks that's the first
Yeah,
step.
your
I mean,
be-
he would have said president. I
Your
think
belief
eventually
comes from your own father's belief.
Yeah. When someone sees you and believes that you could achieve high things.
And that is what your parkour is.
Yeah.
You remembered, either it's conscious or subconscious, that the important figure in your life made a statement. He declared that you can do, be, or have anything you set your mind into. So whenever somebody try to say the opposite, that voice
Yeah.
emerges out of nowhere and it tells you you can. So for you, your father figure, the important person that your father, with that love you had for him, who believed in you, gave you the tool to succeed in everything you're doing in your life. And that is amazing. So I want you to tell us what you felt each time you remember that voice, or each time your father said, where was it again, competitive, yes, Dad, I'm going to do it, or you're right, Dad, I am going to do it? Which one was it?
Probably both. Yeah. Sometimes a little embarrassed too because he says it in front of other people and it's like, oh my gosh, no, that's my dad. No. Every dad thinks their kid's going to achieve great things.
He
but
taught you to fake it till you make it.
he did. Yeah, for sure. And like just underestimate me. Nothing motivates me more than for someone to underestimate.
Just watch me is
underestimate.
probably your, like, just watch me do it.
For sure. And so I believed him. I had no other reason not to believe what he believed.
Yeah, and it's. I think it came from love. So love doesn't have to have a reason. So your father declared, and you believed it, and you still believe it, then you're going to believe it. That's a statement that is never going to leave you. That's the way you are. You battle.
He'd also say, "Who's better than best, greater than great?" And then you have to say, "I am." I mean, he was
awesome.
Yeah, he was. He'd also say, "What? I'm 140 pounds of twisted steel and sex appeal." He really thought highly of himself too.
For those out there who didn't have a chance or the luck to have such an important figure in their lives to make that statement, to pave the path for them, what would you say to them? To those out there who want to do something in their lives, but they think they're not worthy of?
Ken actually said a saying I say all the time, which is fake it till you make it. And some people hate that statement and some people love it. I've always really felt connected to that statement because if you're working at something, and especially in this day and time, and I tell college kids this all the time when I go to I speak at some of those classes, I say, like, you have everything at your disposal, at your fingertips to make it. Like,
So true.
You can't just start and do it, and you will make it. Like, every job that I've applied for, I've always applied for jobs that were a little out of my reach, but I could get there quickly, and I'm a pretty good interviewer, so people could see that I had the capacity to get there. And that's what I tell young kids all the time, is that people are looking for connection. Like, when you're in an interview, they want to connect with you.
Yeah.
They can teach you the job, but they can't unteach teach the toxicity someone might bring to a team.
Well, your positivity, I'm sure, you're just a positive person.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
wake up every morning thinking that it's going to be a great day. Yeah.
That's infectious.
Kym, I think it all boils down to resilience. You are a resilient person. There are a lot of people out there who are not. And make it and fake it until you make it is a great inspirational statement. It doesn't work for everyone.
Right.
And for those who are listening, I think, what we are saying here is take the tools, as you mentioned, that you have available and just make it. In order to bake a good cake, you have to take all the ingredients you need and bake the damn cake.
Yeah.
Right? Whether it's going to come out good or bad, you can always make another one.
But you could also say you fake it until you actually believe it too, which is
absolutely.
Even if you're not sure, just pretend that you're
Yeah.
sure,
So-
and then eventually you will be sure.
Absolutely. And one of the things that is important to note here is that when we say fake it, well, actually, when the subconscious mind does not make a difference between what's wrong or right, or that exists or doesn't exist. If you put it out there in your head, it's there in your head. So it does exist.
Do you think you do that with bodybuilding?
I did that with bodybuilding. I do that
I can
with
see
everything.
that.
I think in the book, Inner Fitness, my current book, Inner Fitness, there are pictures where you see me with, in my attic working out, and there are pictures of 2 champions on my wall. I'm barely starting. I'm 19 years old. These are guys that I beat at the Mr. Universe 3.5 years later.
Yeah.
Okay, so you actually see it.
Right.
If you can see it, okay, in your mind, you can achieve it if you believe it.
Yeah, and I actually think that the fake it till you make it or fake it till you believe it is an inner conversation, right? It's not like an outward thing.
Yeah.
It's like I'm telling myself I might not be able to do this right now, but if I pretend, if I really
Yes.
believe or act like I can do it, it's going to get me halfway there at least or beyond.
Absolutely,
Yeah.
absolutely. And you know what? That's because you are a person that once you have declared to yourself you can do that, you go for the win. The word fake, a lot of people don't do well with the word fake because it's hard to believe when you say fake it till you make it. There's always that little voice that you said, but to other people that voice is even more amplified and they don't believe it because the word fake is there. So I would say see it, feel it,
Yeah, see, it's better than fake it.
and manifest it. See it, feel it, and then go for it.
So when you were in your 30s, you had cancer.
I did. Yeah, I've had cancer a couple times. Yeah.
How many times?
So I had melanoma when I was 21 years old. That was
Okay.
a product of being a girl growing up in Arizona.
I have all that same skin stuff. It's
so
awful.
thankfully we caught that very early. But then in my early 30s, after I had my first child, I was pregnant with my second child, and I had a really rare condition called a partial molar pregnancy. And basically, the pregnancy never really took. It just started creating a lot of matter inside me, which can escape the uterine wall and attack different types of organs. And usually they can go in and get it out and it's fine. Well, mine kept coming back to the point where...
For how long? How long was this lasting?
Well, it went on for about 1.5 years, and I had to finally go under chemo to remove it because they could not scrape it out. And, they're trying to maintain and allow me to have fertility after this, which didn't actually end up being the case after the chemotherapy. But so finally I went on chemo. I had an 18-month-old on one hip, and I'm getting chemo, at the same time. And
Amazing.
And finally got rid of it, and lost my fertility in that. But I also gained a lot of information about myself. I also really felt after that women specifically don't feel very comfortable talking about loss of pregnancies and or miscarriages. And there are so many
Why
women.
is that?
It's just you feel like a failure. It takes you a while to grieve that, to feel like it was something that I did or
Did you
my
go
body.
through the whole grieving process
You do.
with that?
Yeah, but you're not even allowed to go through it. You're allowed to maybe get like a week or two of it.
Yeah.
But you don't understand, like when you're going through a pregnancy, women are like thinking about what's going to happen, that person that's going to be.
Right.
And when that's taken away, you have to like recalibrate yourself.
Do you blame yourself then?
You start to,
that?
you're like, oh, if I had done this, was it because I did that? Or, all of these.
Right.
And of course, it's no one's fault. It's just nature. It's what happens in your body.
Right.
And, but for a long time, I feel like women didn't feel comfortable talking about that. And once I started going through that and talking to other people, you find out, oh, they went through that and they went through that. And we have this common theme about miscarriages, which is crazy in this country. Like there's like 1 in 4 women have had a miscarriage.
That high?
I'm guessing. I think it is. Like
That's
it's been a
high.
while since I've looked at
My
the
wife
research.
had one. Yeah.
And many times multiple miscarriages. And so
what would you say to women who are going through the miscarriage and that mindset after that? To get out of it, what did you do?
I found solidarity in other women to know that like you feel like you're on an island sometimes by yourself, that you're going through this by yourself. When in reality, there are a lot of people that have gone through it, are in the middle of it, or will go through it. And so finding that connection with other people to not feel so alone.
Connection. To wrap up, Kym, your story is a powerful reminder that strength doesn't always roar. It rises quietly in resilience, compassion, and leading by example. Thank you. Thank you for sharing your voice with us. You're an incredible person.
Thank you for having me.
We're going to wrap it up. This is, I wish we had longer, but by design, we try to keep these, at a length where people could actually listen to it in their commute, in their car, which is about 20, 30 minutes, right? But to all of our viewers out there, if you found this episode moving, please share it with someone who needs a reminder that courage, clarity, and compassion can change the game. Keep going. Keep growing and always keep living your no limits life.
Just follow your heart. All you gotta do is follow. All you gotta do is follow.